Hey y'all. Well, here I am sitting in Jewel. We had a great week of little things here and there. We wired in the LED lights, tail lights. I'm going to put up a quick little video of that, showing that. I also pulled out some wiring, finished the wiring out of the fuse panel. We took out all the flasher stuff, the box, CB, intercom system, everything that was in the panel, you know, like right here with all your little buttons for stuff. Whatever I didn't need, the only thing that I left in there was my headlights and my dim switch for the interior gauge cluster lights. That's all that's left in there. So I'm going to show you a quick clip of that, explaining the way I did it. And then we're figuring out the electrical as I'm looking at the bus. We're figuring out the electrical and the best way for us to run the wiring. I was going to run conduit down behind me, like behind that, but I'm going to be spray foaming this. That's why I was going to run conduit, so I could just slide the wires right through it. But that means I have to drill a bunch of holes in the rib system right here so I can run the conduit inside it, so I can run the wire inside that. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to fill the cavity from the metal wall to this beam, the side beam that goes in, and then up here and down there I'm adding another 1x3, so it actually will extend out. So it'll give me a 1-inch cavity in the wall to run my electrical, to run my water, because the only thing that's going to be getting water will be on this side, actually on this side of the bus, because this is behind me. On this side of the bus will be the kitchen sink, and then the shower I'm going to put on the same side, so I only have to run water down one side. So that'll be enough for that PEX line to run inside that cavity. So I'll show you what I'm doing real quick as far as that, and then I'll add the other two little clips in so you can take a look at those too. This seems to be the best format at this point for me, because everything that I'm doing, it doesn't really require its own like video, so to speak. I'm not doing anything that's real technical or real hard to do. Obviously wiring in LED lights is just that, just wiring it in and plugging in the connectors. Now the fuse panel is a little bit more trickier, but everyone's bus is different. So I'm going to show you how my process was, and then maybe that'll help you, give you a start, because the wiring rat nest inside that fuse panel is very daunting. You look at it and go, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? I hope my bus starts after I start pulling out the wiring. And some people don't even bother pulling out the wiring. If it's running, why? If it's not broke, don't fix it, so to speak. I wanted it cleaned up because I didn't want any more unnecessary wiring or electricity to be running through all these wires that I'm not even using. So it makes no sense to me for that. So what I'm doing is I'm just recording little clips, and then I'll merge them into this big clip of basically like a recap of the week of things I'm doing. So with that being said, I'll show you right now what I did with these 1x3s along the wall that's actually I'm facing, not the ones behind me. I haven't done that wall yet, but what I'm facing, and that'll give you maybe a good idea for you guys how to do this without encapsulating your wiring in the spray foam or running conduit, because the wires will still be running freely in between the wall. So if I would have to fish out a wire that might be bad, it'd be very easy to do that. With the electrical box on one side, you could actually take that wire, connect two wires together, another wire, and then just pull it through, because it'll be through holders like I'm using up above on my other video that I posted up when I was removing all the excess wiring from the harness inside the bus. But I'll show you those two. As I'm running the electrical, obviously I'll be putting up a full video of that. But this is just gives you an idea of the cavity space that we feel that's going to work for us. That's not a lot of work involved with drilling holes in those ribs all the way down and running conduit through. So with that being said, I'm going to show you the wall stud system here that I just finished on this side, and then I'll put in those other two clips of the LEDs and the fuse panel stuff. So I'll give you a whirl real quick. Okay, so here we are. How this is working is this is the original 1x4 that's attached to the rib there. And how I plan on doing this is spray foaming out to here, right? So that way it fills in the cavity. It's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thickness, which would be perfect. So if you look up above, here's the 1x4, and this is a 1x3. So the 1x3 is glued in, and then I also screwed it in every like 6 to 7 inches all the way down. See, like that. So that also gives me a good like platform to put something on here, you know, like counters and stuff. It's a good start. And then down here, whoops, not this one, but this one is another 1x3. So basically the wiring will be ran in between this cavity. From here to here will be a 1-inch cavity, and then the wiring will be attached with like eyelets, and it'll be run inside this part of the wall. So this to here will be spray foam, and then from here, so from here to here will be an empty cavity of airspace, and then the wall will be up against here to here, like that. So yeah, and then it gets rid of this chair rail, you know, trying to build a wall that comes in and then goes around that rail and then up the wall, that kind of deal. So let me get up here and then I'll give you an overview of it all. So that's how it's going to be. So as you can see, I've got the spacing, and then the wall will go like that all the way down here. So this side is done with that. And then here's a little thing where we're thinking. So here's that 1/8 inch, no wait a minute, 1/4 inch Luan paneling board that I used for around the windows because I had to make up that gap. So this is kind of how it bends, like that. So obviously you can attach it up like that, and it makes a pretty decent arc. So I know this is a smaller piece. This is just a scrap I had, so I thought I'd throw it up there to see how it would look. But I mean, it's not so bad. So we're kind of thinking of that versus like a tongue and groove all the way down. I don't know yet. I kind of like that. So yeah. Anywho, so that's that. Hey y'all. So the bus is running, and I wired in the LEDs. They're just temporarily in right now because I'm wanting to figure out how I'm going to mount them. I haven't decided, but let me show you how they look.
yeah.
Hey y'all, so here's a quick little video here real quick of how we got all that wiring out. So once you take the panel off here, so you'll see you'll have a lot of switches. Like this is a flasher switch, this was my door RAM air switch, and then up here is my other flasher switch, that's my headlights, and that's my dimmer. So, and this was what was another emergency flasher kit thing, this is here and here. So I still have to remove these switches, these switches from the panel, but how it works is these come down and plug down into these, and then there's a harness that plugs up into here. So once you isolate what goes where, as far as your flashers and all that, then you can go down below and pull them all out. And that's how it works. See, because of all the, well, you kind of get the idea. So it all goes basically into this. And those all come through, right through there. And then that's how you all unhook them all. They just pull off from these little pins, and that's it. There's a couple things that I have to take out, like these ones. These run to nothing. So, and this runs to nothing. So there it is. So that's a quick overview on how you kind of isolate these out. So those were the other two clips of the LEDs and the fuse panel, how I removed the wiring, my method of madness on that one was. And that's about it for this video. Like I said, I'm trying to do one of these every week. If these are these little things, I'm just going to kind of take quick videos of them and then patch it together and then post it up so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing along the way. This project I just happened to finish today, well, the one side of the airspace in between for our electrical. That's going to be perfect for us. All right, so until next week, once I get the electrical all sorted out, we still will do the floor plan. We still have to tape out the floor plan. We got some friends visiting from California this week, so I'm still going to try to work on the bus, just maybe not too intensive. It depends, because we are in Florida and they want to go to the beach because we are a resorty state. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, well, thanks for watching this one. Sat Nam, and we'll catch you next time.